Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name's Phil, and I'm with my co-host, Samantha.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel.
Who do we have today?
We have Don McLean.
Don McLean. It's one of the favorites for Sam and I on the last one.
Yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed the last one.
American Pie. Sam was belting out those lyrics because she knew that one. Yeah. I did not. It was my first time introduction to American Pie, which is obviously a very, very popular song, and Don McLean's most popular song. And you guys were really enjoying me trying to figure that one out, of all those lyrics. And then we found out after the fact a lot of those lyrics were representing historical figures like Elvis and potentially Bob Dylan and the Beatles. And he was talking about, you know, the history of a lot of music in that song. So that was really, really cool to find out from you guys in those comments, because the comments are always fire.
Yeah, you guys always bring us all the knowledge and education, so we appreciate that.
Yeah, and we have a little bit of knowledge and education to bring to this video as well. We have a little bit of a pop quiz question, and what is that, Samantha?
Guys, don't make fun of my pronunciation, but what year did Vincent van Gogh, is that how you say it?
Vincent van Gogh.
I would say Vincent van Gogh, but I guess apparently that's wrong. What year did he die?
Yes. If you know that answer, drop it down low in those comments so we can confirm that answer for you a little bit later.
So my guess is that this song is about him.
Yes. Vincent is about Vincent van Gogh. Working on my accent here.
Yeah, I do not have the Dutch accent down pat, guys. I'm sorry.
I don't think I do either. But anyways, it is about the painter. I don't know much about Vincent van Gogh, but I would like to learn a little bit more. And Don McLean was great at the lyricism in the last one. So I'm excited, especially because everybody in the comments were saying you guys got to check out Vincent. That's his next best song. And I believe this is off the same album, American Pie, too. So anyways, without further ado, are you ready to check out a little more Don McLean? You don't know this one, right?
I do not know this one.
You knew the last one. You won't know this one.
I don't know this one.
So that makes two of us. If you guys are ready, you're ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready. Let's get into some Vincent.
Starry, starry night, paint your palette blue and gray. Look out on a summer's day with eyes that know the darkness in my soul. Shadows on the hills, sketch the trees and the daffodils, catch the breeze and the winter chills in colors on the snowy linen land. Now I understand what you tried to say to me, and how you suffered for your sanity, and how you tried to set them free. They would not listen, they did not know how. Perhaps they'll listen now. Starry, starry night, flaming flowers that brightly blaze, swirling clouds in violet haze, reflect in Vincent's eyes of china blue, colors changing hue. Morning fields of amber grain, weathered faces lined in pain, are soothed beneath the artist's loving hand. Now I understand what you tried to say to me, and how you suffered for your sanity, and how you tried to set them free. They would not listen, they did not know how. Perhaps they'll listen now, for they could not love you, but still your love was true. And when no hope was left inside on that starry, starry night, you took your life as lovers often do. But I could have told you, Vincent, this world was never meant for one as beautiful as you. starry, starry night.
So it wasn't what I was expecting at all. This is more of a poem.
Yeah, it's a lot slower and more, like lower energy than the last one that we did, obviously.
Yes, I would say slightly so.
Just a little bit.
It's like I said, to me, it's a poem, which I guess artistically is fitting because painting a picture, is from an artistic standpoint. We've got kind of Don McLean doing the same thing,
yeah, but
using his lyrics to do so.
Yeah,
and great, use of linguistics and language. I really, really love that. And even this, what's on the screen here, portraits hung in empty halls, frameless heads on nameless walls. Like, he's using a lot of compound rhymes in it to make the poem fit together so nicely and so fluidly.
Yeah.
His voice is obviously, so ear pleasing.
I feel like it's so calming.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Calming, relaxing, which I think is fitting for the message that he's portraying in this one, and obviously talking about Vincent from his struggles, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that like he was painting these pictures, and Vincent was probably trying to portray that he was struggling with some of these things, but nobody actually took it in. They just looked at it as his artistic creativity.
Yeah.
And although that led him to be able to create some masterpieces, it was something that he struggled with, and nobody really understood that until after the fact.
Yeah.
And so that's what the sad side of the story is. But, it's that old kind of cliche of, so many times, even from music that we've seen, that so many people struggle with so many inner demons, but that it produces so much great artistry as well.
Yes,
so I
so
think
much creativity.
I think it's really interesting to see Don McLean, who is an artist from music, discussing an artist from, a previous time, but probably went through things that were similar to people that he knew.
Yeah, for sure. I also think it's cool that they're using aspects of his paintings, like almost characteristics from some of his paintings in the lyricism as well.
Such as?
Like it's talking about like Starry, Starry Night. They talked about like a canvas of blue with stars and like the big, I forget what it said, the shadows, like the black shadows, like that's characteristics of the Starry Night painting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's his. There's one that's really well known that's like a portrait of someone, and he was talking about like a portrait with like crinkled or like wrinkled faces or something. So I think there's a couple, and like the swirls, like there's one I think I've also seen that has like swirls of almost like look like fireballs kind of in it. They said something about that in there. So I believe that those are all attributes to like some of his famous work.
Okay.
That they're using, kind of talking about how he's doing these paintings and like what's going into them. But like you said, it's kind of maybe pouring in some of his things that he's struggling with or his emotions into the work that's resulting in that.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're much more familiar with the works of Vincent van Gogh than I am. But clearly, as you alluded to, he's not only, putting together the poetic bars, he's doing it in a way that is representing Vincent, the artist, in so many different lights, which is obviously attributed to Don McLean's great songwriting abilities, right?
I mean, I could be wrong with that. It's been a very long time since I took art history, but that's what I recall from learning.
I think, yeah, you're probably right. So maybe you'll catch a few more references. We'll listen to a bit more. But this is such a beautiful song. I mean, he's doing such an amazing job. I can see why you guys recommended it, because it's very, very different than what we've done on the channel. It's very unique.
Yeah.
It's very creative, taking a different standpoint than, any other artist really that we've done thus far, and taking one important historical figure, and Don McLean has now become another important historical figure. And like I said, from two different artistic perspectives, which is really, really cool.
Yeah.
But still your love was true, and when no hope was left inside on that starry, starry night, you took your life as lovers often do. But I could have told you, Vincent, this world was never meant for one as beautiful as you. Starry, starry night, portraits hung in empty halls, frameless heads on nameless walls, with eyes that watch the world and can't forget, like the strangers that you've met, the ragged men in ragged clothes, a silver thorn, a bloody rose, lie crushed and broken on the virgin snow. And now I think I know what you tried to say to me, and how you suffered for your sanity, and how you tried to set them free. They would not listen, they're not listening still. Perhaps they never will.
Just pure poetry, like I said, such a beautiful, well-written song. You know, great use of the strings in there to increase some of the dramatic feel in certain areas, and that really played well, I think, with Dawn's voice, as you were saying, that it's so calming, and but still this was, you know, dramatic enough that it was powerful for, you know, the message that he was getting across. It's like I said, just something that is very, very unique in the way he put it all together.
Yeah, and I think it also brings a feeling almost of like sadness to some degree, like not like, oh, I'm gonna cry sad, but kind of just these feelings of like you feel a little bit sad almost listening to this, because this whole idea of that, you know, artists try to pour their emotions into their work, and sometimes that's never fully grasped or understood by the viewer, right? Like I think a lot of people look at art and just look at it at like face value, like surface level, and don't really look at how many layers there might be into that. And that's kind of, you know, sad sometimes.
Yeah, and you know, I think also, as I mentioned before, that unfortunately sometimes the struggles that happen for artists end up leading people to recognize them more after the fact, right? So there's many people, as we've discussed musically, that have died at 27, the 27 Club, right? And after they pass away, the recognition grew. And I wonder if the same is true for him as an artist, Vincent as an artist, because, you know, clearly there's exhibits and everything all around the world. We've got Don McLean that's made a song about him. But would that have been the case if he, which I'll get to now, pop quiz question that we asked you was,
when did he die? And that was 1890, and it was by suicide.
So he died in 1890, which is quite a long time ago, right? We're talking about 130 years ago. But he died by suicide, more importantly. So if he hadn't have ended his life in that dramatic and traumatic way, would people have recognized his work as much? You know, and like, that's not taking away any, you know, value in his work. I'm just, you know, wondering, again, similar as we've seen with other artists, is that a reason why so many people now, as Dawn was just discussing, are recognizing, oh wow, like when he was painting that, he probably felt this, or they can put themselves in his shoes a little bit more to try to understand that, when they may have not been able to if he hadn't have taken that way out in terms of ending his life. So it's sad, like you said, and that's kind of maybe what you're feeling a bit, is knowing like what this person may have been going through when they were making these paintings.
Yeah, no, for sure. And, you know, that also during that time period, it's such a different life too, right? So it's hard to even imagine like the things you might have been going through or dealing with at that time.
Yeah, well, and, you know, as we just discussed, Vincent, and you were saying, I think captured it really, really well. And that's what, you know, we came here to do, is see what he did. And I think he did a tremendous job. So hopefully you guys enjoyed our reaction. If you did, make sure you hit the like button for us. It's a great second song from Don McLean. Super impressed on both of his songs for the songwriting component. 100%, one of the best that I've heard. So hopefully you guys enjoyed us checking this one out. If you have any other recommendations, drop them down low. And make sure you hit the subscribe and notification bell. The subscription button always helps us grow as a channel, so we appreciate that, but the notification bell helps you because it makes sure you don't miss any of the content that we drop. So we look forward to seeing you in our next video, which will be tomorrow, where we drop 2 videos every single day.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.